The garden of no return. The late September sun filtered through the stained glass window in my kitchen, painting kaleidoscopic patterns on the pine table where I'd served countless family dinners. I sat there, a mug of chamomile tea gone cold in my hands, staring at the glossy family partnership contract my daughter-in-law, Chloe, had slid across the table last night. It wasn't a birthday card or a grocery list. It was a 10-page document, complete with bullet points and a signature line, outlining my essential contributions to the family and their online plant care subscription business, Green Bloom. The words seared into my mind: 5:30 a.m. Prepare organic breakfast for family and staff, Marcus and Chloe. 7 a.m. Pack 20 subscription boxes in greenhouse. 8:30 a.m. Drive Isabella and Theo to school. 9:30 a.m. Clean kitchen and living areas. 10:30 a.m. Run errands for business supplies. The list stretched on, hour by hour, until 11 p.m. Edit product photos and iron kids' uniforms for next day. Evelyn, starting tomorrow, this is how we keep Green Bloom and the household running smoothly, Chloe had said, her voice polished, like she was pitching to investors. My son, Marcus, stood behind her, arms crossed, nodding as he scrolled through his phone. We're building a legacy here, and this cottage is our hub. If you can't commit to these responsibilities, we'll need to reconsider our living arrangement. Reconsider our living arrangement? I'd asked, my voice barely a whisper, clutching the contract like it might bite me. Marcus had looked up, his eyes hard. Mom, we've been here 3 years, keeping this place alive. Legally, we've got a case for adverse possession. If you don't want to be part of the team, you can leave. We'd hate to go there, but we need someone who pulls their weight. My hands trembled now, just as they had last night, as I reread the contract. At 70, in the Victorian cottage I'd bought with my late husband, Thomas, in 1978, I was being handed a work schedule by my own son and his wife. The same son I'd raised alone after Thomas died of a heart attack when Marcus was 12. The same son whose little league games I'd cheered at, whose college tuition I'd paid by running my florist shop, Petals and Promises, until I was 65. Now, Marcus and Chloe were treating me like an unpaid employee who also funded their dreams. Evelyn, it's not personal, Chloe had added, her tone syrupy but sharp. This is for the family and Green Bloom. You want to see Isabella and Theo every day, don't you? At your age, with your $750 pension, where else are you going to go? A senior apartment? A nursing home? Here, you've got a roof, food, and your grandkids. It's a fair deal. A fair deal. My cottage, my sanctuary, reduced to a transaction. I looked around the kitchen, at the hand-painted tiles Thomas and I had chosen on our honeymoon, now chipped from Chloe's endless filming setups. The walls, once adorned with my pressed flower art, were covered in Green Bloom posters. My oak hutch, where I'd displayed my mother's china, was stuffed with packing peanuts and shipping labels. The greenhouse out back, my pride, where I'd grown prize-winning roses, was now their fulfillment center, crammed with boxes and a noisy label printer. Grandma, can you make pancakes? Isabella's voice broke my thoughts. My 16-year-old granddaughter stood in the doorway, her phone glowing, earbuds dangling. She didn't look up, just tapped away, expecting me to jump. In a minute, sweetheart, I said, my voice automatic, trained by 3 years of their demands. Chloe appeared behind Isabella, her ring light tucked under her arm. Evelyn, make them gluten-free. Isabella's on a new cleanse. Oh, and we need you to pick up Theo from soccer at 3. I've got a live stream and Marcus is handling inventory. She didn't wait for a reply, just breezed out to the greenhouse, her heels clicking on my hardwood floors. I stood frozen in my own kitchen, the contract crumpled in my fist. This was my life now, a ledger of tasks, a drain on my pension, a barrage of orders. I'd been overjoyed when Marcus and Chloe moved in 3 years ago, after Marcus was laid off from his marketing job. Just a few months, Mom, he'd said, his eyes red. We'll get back on our feet. You're saving us. I'd opened my heart, my home, my wallet. I'd cooked their meals, driven the kids, paid for groceries when their budget ran dry. But somewhere, my generosity had become their entitlement. "Grandma, the pancakes." Isabella called, her tone sharp, echoing Chloe's impatience. I walked to the pantry, my legs heavy, and found it nearly empty. A half-empty box of gluten-free flour, a jar of expired honey, a bag of rice I'd bought on sale. The fridge was worse, a carton of almond milk marked, Chloe's content only, a few eggs, some wilted kale. I'd spent $300 at the grocery store last week, mostly on Isabella's snacks and Marcus's craft beer. My pension was so stretched I'd skipped my blood pressure pills to afford their essentials. "Evelyn, we're out of oat milk," Chloe shouted from the greenhouse. "Can you grab some today? Oh, and we need more bubble wrap and plant pots for green bloom." I left a list on the fridge. "Should be about $150. $150. Another chunk of my pension, gone. I stared at the list taped to the fridge, written in Chloe's looping cursive: oat milk, organic berries, gluten-free bread, bubble wrap, terracotta pots, soccer cleats for Theo. No please, no thank you, no offer to chip in. Just expectations, as if my money was theirs. "Chloe, my pension can't cover this every week," I said, stepping into the greenhouse, my voice trembling but firm. She looked up from her laptop, her eyes narrowing. "Evelyn, we're all sacrificing. Marcus is working 16-hour days, and I'm building a brand. You live here, eat our food. It's only fair you contribute." "Live here? In my own cottage?" The one Thomas and I had bought with our life savings, where we'd raised Marcus, where I'd mourned Thomas for 20 years. The one I'd maintained, paying taxes, fixing the roof, tending every flower in the garden. I felt slapped, but Chloe was already back at her screen, dismissing me. Back in the kitchen, I tried to focus on the pancakes, but my hands shook as I mixed the batter. Isabella sat at the counter, still glued to her phone, oblivious to the storm inside me. "Grandma, hurry up. I'm starving," she said, her tone Chloe's to a T. I looked at her, my sweet Isabella, who used to help me arrange roses. Now, she saw me as the cook, the driver, the fixer. Not Grandma, not Evelyn, just the help. "Coming, love," I said, forcing a smile, but inside, something was breaking. That night, Marcus came home late, his tie loosened, a takeout coffee in hand. He dropped onto my couch, the one I'd reupholstered with Thomas, and opened a beer from my fridge. "Mom, we need to talk about Greenbloom's budget," he said, not looking at me. "Chloe and I are scaling up, so we need you to cover more: utilities, internet, maybe the kids' activities. Your pension can handle it." "My pension's barely enough for me," I said, my voice sharper than intended. "I'm already paying for groceries, taxes, and half your business supplies. When are you two contributing?" He looked up, his eyes cold. "Contributing? Mom, we're keeping this cottage from falling apart. You think you could manage alone? The garden, the repairs, the kids? We're doing you a favor. Without us, this place would be a burden." A burden. My home, where I'd taught Marcus to plant tulips, where I'd run my florist shop from the front porch, where I'd dreamed of a peaceful retirement. I felt the words choke me. "Marcus, this is my cottage. I paid for it, loved it, kept it alive for 45 years. You're here because I let you." Chloe appeared from the greenhouse, arms crossed, her face tight. "Evelyn, let's not get dramatic. We've been here 3 years, making this place a business hub. Legally, we can claim adverse possession. If you don't want to partner with us, we can take this to court. But at your age, do you want that stress? Or to end up in a tiny apartment, alone, with no family?" The threat hit like a brick. My own son and his wife, in my own living room, were blackmailing me. Either I became their servant, funding their business, or they'd try to take my home. I looked at Marcus, searching for the boy who'd brought me dandelions, who'd promised to take care of me. That boy was gone, replaced by a man who saw me as a means to an end. Think about it, Mom, Marcus said, swigging his beer. You're lucky to have us. Most women your age are in nursing homes. You get to stay here, see Isabella and Theo every day. All we're asking is you step up. Step up, I repeated, the words bitter. You mean work from dawn to dusk and pay for everything while you build your empire with my money? Chloe rolled her eyes. Evelyn, you're being selfish. We're a family. Families share responsibilities. You don't work, just collect your pension. We're the ones with real jobs, real stress. You should be grateful we're including you. Grateful. For being treated like an employee in my own home. For having my life dictated by their contract. For watching my savings shrink while they planned their future. I looked around the living room, at my furniture, now scratched from the kids' roughhousing. My pressed flower art, boxed in the attic for their posters. My greenhouse, now their warehouse. This wasn't my home anymore. It was their factory, and I was the labor. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in my bed, the bed where Thomas and I had dreamed, where I'd grieved him, and stared at the ceiling. When had I become invisible? When had my kindness become weakness? When had my love become a license to exploit me? I remembered the day Marcus and Chloe arrived, 3 years ago. Marcus had been fired, their apartment lease was up, and they had nowhere to go. Mom, you're our lifeline, he'd said, hugging me tightly. We'll be out in a few months, I promise. I'd believed him. I'd cooked their favorites, driven the kids, paid for their Wi-Fi when their savings ran dry. I'd thought I was helping my family. But every favor became an expectation. Every dollar became their right. Every no problem became a contract I hadn't meant to sign. At 2 a.m., I heard noises in the kitchen. I crept downstairs and found Chloe eating yogurt straight from the tub, leaving smears on the counter I'd scrubbed. Chloe, what are you doing? I whispered, not wanting to wake the kids. Just hungry, she said, not looking up. We're out of berries. Can you grab some tomorrow? Chloe, I can't keep buying everything, I said, my voice shaking. I'm running out of money. She sighed, like I was a child. Evelyn, relax. We'll pay you back when Green Bloom hits 6 figures. Just use your card. 6 figures. Their dream, funded by my pension. I cleaned the smears in silence, realizing this was my life, cleaning their messes while they slept in my home, dreaming of millions. The next morning, I followed the contract because I didn't know what else to do. I made gluten-free pancakes for Isabella, drove Theo to school, packed 20 subscription boxes in the greenhouse while Chloe filmed a behind-the-scenes video in my kitchen, using my electricity, my space. But as I taped boxes, something shifted. It wasn't anger, not yet. It was a realization I couldn't keep living like this. I was losing my home, myself. That afternoon, while the kids were at school and Marcus was out, I called my neighbor, Dorothy, a retired nurse who'd been my friend for 20 years. Dorothy, can you come over? I asked, my voice cracking. I need to talk. She was at my door in 15 minutes, her silver hair in a bun, her eyes sharp with worry. Evelyn, you look worn out. What's going on? We sat at the kitchen table, the contract taped to the fridge like a prison sentence. I told her everything, the schedule, the threats, the pension drain, the greenhouse takeover. I showed her the crumpled document, my hands shaking as I pointed to each task. Dorothy listened, her face darkening. Evelyn, this is abuse, she said, her voice low but fierce. This isn't family. This is exploitation. They're using your love to trap you. But they say they can claim the cottage, I said, echoing Marcus's threat. They've been here 3 years. They say I'd lose it if I don't comply. Dorothy's eyes narrowed. They're bluffing. Adverse possession takes years and specific conditions, none of which apply when you're paying for everything. But you need a lawyer to shut this down. A lawyer. The idea terrified me. Lawyers meant conflict, money, maybe losing Marcus and the kids. But as I looked at Dorothy, at her conviction, I realized I was already losing everything. "What would you do?" I asked. "I'd kick them out," she said. "But if you're not ready, start with boundaries. Charge rent. Stop paying for their business. Remind them this is your cottage. If they push back, you push harder. You're not helpless, Evelyn. You own this place. You have a pension. You have rights." Her words were a lifeline. For 3 years, I'd felt like I was drowning, but Dorothy was reminding me I could stand. "Can you help me find a lawyer?" I asked. She smiled. "I know just the woman." The next day, I drove to Albany, my heart pounding as I parked outside the office of Laura Bennett, a lawyer Dorothy recommended through a senior legal aid network. Laura was in her 40s, with a warm smile and a desk covered in files. "Mrs. Harper, tell me what's happening," she said, her pen ready. I poured out the story, the contract, the threats, the financial drain, the greenhouse invasion. Laura listened, her expression shifting from curiosity to outrage. When I finished, she leaned back. "Evelyn, this is elder abuse, financial and emotional. Their adverse possession claim is nonsense. You're the homeowner, and you've been subsidizing their business. No court would side with them." Relief washed over me, but fear lingered. "What can I do?" I asked. "Several things," Laura said. "First, we issue a formal notice terminating any informal housing agreement. You set new terms, they pay $600 a month in rent, cover half the expenses, or leave in 30 days. Second, we document the financial abuse, every grocery bill, every business expense. If they resist, we can pursue charges for exploitation. Third, we ensure no unauthorized guests stay without your consent." "Chloe's sister is coming next week," I said, recalling the latest imposition. "They didn't ask. They said she's staying in my room." Laura's jaw tightened. "Another violation. We'll include a clause about unauthorized guests. The consultation and notices are $200 through our senior program. If it goes to court, we can arrange a payment plan. $200. Less than I'd spend on their business supplies in a month." I handed over the money, feeling hope spark. "Draft the notices," I said. "I want them today." That evening, I returned with 3 legal letters, addressed to Marcus, Chloe, and Chloe's sister, Vanessa. The cottage was quiet, Marcus was at a networking event, Chloe was live streaming, and the kids were at a friend's. I sat at the kitchen table, the notices before me, and waited. Chloe came in first, her arms full of ring light gear. "Evelyn, can you clear the table for dinner?" she called, not looking up. "No," I said, my voice steady. "We need to talk." "Sit down." She froze, her eyes narrowing as she saw the papers. "What's this?" Marcus walked in, his briefcase in hand. "Mom, what's going on?" "Chloe texted you're acting weird." "Sit," I said, pointing to the chairs. They sat, exchanging wary glances. I slid the letters across the table. "These are legal notices from my lawyer. They outline the new terms for living here. Read them now or later, but they're effective immediately." Chloe snatched her letter, her eyes racing over it. $600 a month in rent? Half the utilities? "Evelyn, this is insane. We can't afford this." "Then find a place you can afford," I said, unyielding. "This is my cottage. I've been paying for everything, groceries, utilities, your business, while you profit. That ends now." Marcus's face reddened. "Mom, you're out of line. We're your family. We've turned this cottage into a business empire. You can't kick us out." "I'm not kicking you out," I said. "I'm giving you 30 days to decide, pay rent and contribute, or leave. And Vanessa has 48 hours to cancel her visit. She's not staying without my permission." Chloe's mouth opened. "You're telling my sister she can't visit?" "Evelyn, she's family. She's your family, not mine, I said. And this is my cottage. No one stays without my consent. Marcus slammed his hand on the table. This is betrayal. After everything we've done, you go to a lawyer? We've been keeping this place alive, giving you purpose. You've been living here rent-free, using my money, my greenhouse, I countered. You gave me a work contract, threatened to take my cottage. That's not family. That's exploitation. Chloe's eyes welled up, but I knew her tears. Evelyn, how can you do this to us? To Isabella and Theo? You're their grandma. The kids are always welcome, I said. But not as leverage to control me. You have 30 days. The next month was a battlefield. Marcus and Chloe tried every tactic: denial, guilt, anger, fake kindness. They'd leave the greenhouse a mess, claiming they were too swamped. They'd remind me I'd be lonely without them. Isabella and Theo asked why Grandma was mad. I explained simply, Grandma needs to take care of herself to be the best grandma for you. Vanessa's visit was cancelled, but not without drama. Chloe called her sister, claiming I'd banned her. Vanessa sent me a scathing email, calling me selfish. I didn't reply. Laura had advised keeping communication written, and I followed her advice. Isabella and Theo, caught in the middle, were confused. Why can't we use the greenhouse anymore? Theo asked one night, his soccer ball under his arm. I knelt to his level. Because it's Grandma's special place, and I need it back to make it special again. But you can visit anytime, and we'll have fun together. By the end of the 30 days, Marcus and Chloe found a small apartment in town. They moved out on the last day, their faces sullen. As they loaded boxes into a rented van, Chloe turned to me. I hope you're happy, Evelyn. You're choosing to be alone. I'm choosing to be myself, I said. I'll always love you and the kids. But love doesn't mean letting you use me. 3 months later, I woke to birdsong in my quiet cottage. I made tea in my kitchen, sat in my living room, and looked out at my greenhouse, now cleared of their clutter. I'd started arranging flowers again, selling bouquets at the local farmer's market. My pension, no longer drained, covered my needs with enough for joys: a new gardening book, coffee with Dorothy, a floral design class. Isabella and Theo visited every other weekend, and our time was different. Without constant caregiving, I could be their grandma, teaching them to arrange roses, playing Scrabble, laughing over pie. They'd ask about their parents, and I'd answer kindly. Your mom and dad are figuring things out, like I am. But I'm here for you. Laura called to confirm Marcus and Chloe had no claim to my cottage. You did it, Evelyn, she said. You took back your life. One morning, while pruning my roses, I found Thomas's old diary in the greenhouse, tucked behind a pot. Inside was a note, a trust fund he'd set up for me, untouched, worth $10,000. I used it to install a new garden gate and security cameras, locking out exploitation but keeping my heart open for my grandkids. As I arranged a bouquet of lavender and daisies, I realized Laura was right. This was my cottage, my life, my story. And for the first time in years, I was writing it myself.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. Watch the full video for more details.